Is officially the first full day of winter as it is winter solstice on December 21st. Hope everybody's having a great Thursday out there. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. In today's video, we will be breaking down the rest of December and early January in today's video, including a big storm system moving across the country and also a very intriguing storm track setting up as we move into early January. If you are new to the channel and like detailed weather breakdowns across North America, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below so you get all of that and much more. And be sure to press the like button down below. It helps out more than you know. Looking at the current weather conditions out the door this morning, we have some precipitation moving across portions of the United States in a couple different areas. We have some rain and drizzle here across the mid-Missouri Valley down into the southern plains. This is currently light rainfall across this region, not that big of a deal. We also have some heavier rains moving into Southern California here, bringing some potential flash flooding, and also into Arizona. And then we also have some rainfall up into western portions of Oregon, Washington State, with those higher elevations, seeing some heavier snow up there into Washington State this morning. Looking at our low temperatures this morning, it is quite warm for this time of year across the south central United States. We are waking up to temperatures near 50 degrees in Kansas City, near 50 degrees there in Tulsa, and into the mid-50s at 56 this morning in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And you can see as we go into today, here is the synopsis of our weather pattern. And you can see we have the ridge of high pressure over the top here across southeastern Canada and the northern tier of the United States. There's our storm system, our big storm system that is, across coastal California. That will be moving its way eastward into the Four Corners region as we go in towards this weekend. Here are your high temperatures expected as we go into this afternoon. Much like we've seen over the last several days, another mild day of it across portions of the mainland United States. Temperatures to the north will be in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. Further south, we will be in the 50s and 60s as we go into this afternoon. Moving ahead to Friday, you can basically copy and paste the temperatures you see today to Friday. And as we go into Saturday as well, we're just going to see a lot of consistency with our high temperatures out there again, north into the 20s and 30s, and 40s, 50s, and 60s further to the south. Now, our big storm system we're keeping an eye on is moving into coastal California and southern California as we go into today. This is the 500 millibar vorticity map, and this basically shows you the brighter the color, the more spin there is in the mid-levels of the atmosphere just above our heads. And you can see that low pressure system off the coast of California today. That will be moving into Southern California and Arizona as we go into tomorrow on Friday, December 22nd. And then as we go into Saturday, this will start to bring some low pressure and some precipitation to the Rockies region from Colorado, Wyoming, southward to New Mexico and West Texas as we go into Saturday. So let's look at the precipitation as we go into this afternoon. Pretty dry across the Rockies, high pressure and firm control. We still got that drizzle, some sporadic showers and a couple thunderstorms out here across the central United States. That won't be that big of a deal because severe weather is not expected there. But our main big system here into coastal California will be moving into the Los Angeles region, San Diego and vicinity, producing some potentially flash flooding conditions in some of those areas. That will move eastward into especially Arizona as we go into Friday. The Phoenix region, Flagstaff, definitely seeing some pretty heavy rainfall as we go into Friday. And then this turns into a snowmaker for the Rockies from Montana down into western Wyoming, much of Utah, the Salt Lake City area in particular. Could be seeing some very heavy snows on Saturday. Some snows getting as far south as those higher elevations of Arizona and northwest New Mexico and into western Colorado as we go into Saturday. Overall, here's your rainfall accumulation in inches now through the weekend through Sunday, December 24th on Christmas Eve. Notice where the heaviest rains will be across Southern California and especially down here into Arizona around the Phoenix Flagstaff region, seeing honestly around 1 to 3 inches worth of rain, and then a little bit of rain for the Ohio Valley, the Midwest, and back into the mid-Missouri Valley, where we could be picking up anywhere from 1/4 of an inch up to 3/4 of an inch across especially Indiana, Illinois, getting down into Missouri and eastern portions of Kansas. Looking at the flash flood probability today into your Friday morning on the 22nd, there still is a moderate risk of flash flooding, which means numerous flash floods will be possible just to the west of Los Angeles. Los Angeles is included in the slight risk of flash flooding today into tomorrow. And then that shifts further to the east across portions of Arizona and into far southern California for Friday into Saturday, including the San Diego region, Phoenix, and areas in vicinity there into southern portions of Arizona. We also are looking at a decent snowmaker with this system once we move into Saturday across the Rockies from Montana down through Wyoming, much of Utah there, western Colorado, the northeastern side of Arizona, and those higher elevations especially, and into northwestern New Mexico. Widespread amounts in those higher elevations, 6 to 12 plus inches. There could be a couple overachievers here into Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico that could actually see up to 2 feet of snow in those highest of elevations through that Christmas Eve time frame. So definitely seeing a white Christmas out there. Let's look at our height anomalies and the synopsis of the weather pattern as we turn into Christmas Eve on Sunday, December 24th. High pressure to the east and low pressure to the west here in the United States. And as we go into Christmas Day, notice you see those blue anomalies showing up here in the central and southern plains. Well, that is in association to that strong storm that's moving across Southern California that will push further east into the middle of the country right in time for Christmas Day. So let's first look at our temperatures. These are your high temperatures on Sunday, Christmas Eve on the 24th. This is honestly one of the warmest Christmas Eves that I can remember here. Temperatures are going to be up to 50 degrees Fahrenheit as far north as the Minneapolis-St. Paul vicinity there in the Twin Cities. Mid-40s, 46 there on the Lake Michigan shoreline from Green Bay down to Milwaukee. 51 in Chicago and 60 there in St. Louis as we go into Christmas Eve. And look at these low temperatures, folks. This is astonishing for late December. Lows in the upper 40s as far north as La Crosse, Wisconsin, getting in toward portions of Green Bay there. 50s across the Illinois Valley and Missouri Valley, and low of 60 down here into Baton Rouge as we go into Christmas Eve night. All that cold air will be further off to the west or to the north into Canada. And just to give you some type of resemblance of how rare this is, folks, temperature anomalies for Sunday, Christmas Eve night. These are your nighttime anomalies. We will be 30 to 40 degrees above normal for anomalies for your nighttime lows as we go into Christmas Eve. Just absolutely incredible here across the Midwest. And as we turn into Christmas Day on Monday, December 25th, much of the same, 50s and even some 60s showing up there, even into eastern Kentucky, Lexington, Kentucky, Charleston, West Virginia. We could be cracking into the lower 60s for high temperatures on Christmas Day, even pushing 70 down here into places like New Orleans or even into portions of Jacksonville, Florida. So very, very warm as we go into Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, that is for sure. And the culprit for this is a strong low pressure system that will be moving into the middle of the country early this week on Christmas Day into that Tuesday time frame, which is the day after Christmas on the 26th. It will be slow to move further east, so it'll take its time as it moves across the eastern U.S., but by the time we get to Thursday, Friday, the last week there in December, that system will be moving across our eastern areas. So you can see the precipitation map on Sunday, Christmas Eve. You got the low pressure here into central and eastern Nebraska, rain preceding it across portions of the Midwest, the Missouri Valley, and the lower Mississippi Valley. We will watch some thunderstorms down here into East Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas. A few of these storms could get feisty enough to produce some strong winds, some smaller hail, and a couple of brief tornadoes. We'll keep an eye on it here as we go into Christmas Eve. Otherwise, we could be seeing a little bit of some snow up here across the Dakotas, back into Wyoming with this. This will be a very heavy, wet snow and probably won't be sticking too much across these regions. And then as we go into Christmas Day, notice it really doesn't move that far. The low pressure was in eastern Nebraska on Sunday, Christmas Eve. Monday, Christmas Day is only getting as far east as Kansas City there into Missouri. Another soaking rain for Iowa there into the land of Lincoln across Illinois, getting across the southeast there. And then as we go into Tuesday, that low just basically sits right over Kansas City there. Kind of loses its luster as it kind of sits there and spins. But we do have a lot of gray, gloomy times ahead as we go into Tuesday there. Lots of clouds, lots of rain, maybe some snow on the backside, very light snow across Nebraska and South Dakota. Then as we go into late next week, that system is still moving east. It strengthens to a 983 millibar low, so the pressure does drop and produces some heavier snows for southeastern Canada and interior New England. But look at how long it takes to just make it to the East Coast. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, here it is across portions of Vermont. So it takes a long time for it to push further east. But looking at rainfall with this system, a very beneficial rainfall system. This takes us all the way through the end of December. Notice we got a lot of rain across the east here. If you're in the purple, if you're in the red, you're going to be seeing at least 1 inch to 2 inches worth of rain, and there will be localized pockets here getting more than 2 inches of rain, certainly across the eastern 2/3 of the country. And this is great news because the U.S. Drought Monitor does show a lot of drought here across the central and eastern 2/3 of the country. We will be improving this drought in a big way moving forward as we round out the month of December. So that's some great news. And for snow lovers out there, I know we've been very slow on getting the snow line further south this year. It does look like it will be shifting a little further south before the month is done. Possibly some snow here for the Dakotas into Nebraska, but don't take too much stock in the amounts here on this screen. There are other models that show basically nothing. So there is a little bit of discrepancy here with how much snowfall actually falls into the northern high plains, but just giving you an idea that these could be the areas that see the snow from northwestern Kansas, west central Nebraska, South Dakota, and to North Dakota there, but just don't take those amounts verbatim. And then the snowfall kind of breaks up a little there across the upper Midwest and lower Midwest, and then it starts to pick back up as that low pressure begins to drop and strengthen again across southeastern Canada and interior New England as we go toward the end of the month. And this could drop maybe 8 to 12 inches or more of snow into Ontario, Quebec, and interior New England, maybe a few inches of snow again for upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and much of Maine during that period. We'll keep an eye on that. Now, turning into early January, things change a little bit. We still have some above normal temperatures across the northern United States, near normal to below normal to the south. This is a very El Nino type of pattern here with our temperatures. Our temperature anomalies do resemble that, where you see the reds and the oranges further north. That's the warmer anomalies. The whites and the blues further south. That's near normal to below normal anomalies further to the south. Very El Nino-like. And you can see here are your potential high temperatures turning into the first few days of early January of 2024. Temperatures will be pretty uniform, cold up into Canada. You got the 20s and 30s, much like we've been seeing for highs to the north. And then you got 40s, 50s, and some 60s down here further to the south again as we go into early January. Looking at precipitation during that period, this takes us through January 12th. We do have another storm system we'll keep an eye on, an active storm track setting up for the Pacific Southwest, again, including Southern California, Arizona, the Four Corners region in general, and then further east into the Central Plains. whereas we'll be seeing drier weather further north into the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, and Ohio Valley during this period. And again, it's going to be wet down across Florida and the southeast coast with that active Pacific jet stream. So let's take a look at what I'm talking about here. With the Pacific jet stream, you can see coming in across the west coast, California, Oregon, we see a lot of precipitation. This is a highway for storms. You see that dip in the jet stream down here across the south. That means we have a low pressure that'll be sitting down here in the southern plains, and then we'll be starting to track its way up to the north and east along the highway here of that jet stream up into the Ohio Valley for early January. And you notice, again, don't take this verbatim, but just giving you an idea of the storm track. We'll have rain on the eastern side, possibly some severe weather, and also some snow on the northern side of the track of these lows that could be moving up across the upper Midwest. So our potential storm track for early January, this goes from January 1st through January 12th there, and you can see the first and primary storm track will take it from portions of central and southern California through the southern Four Corners region, through Texas, and across the Gulf Coast states there, and that'll have the rain on the northern side, a chillier rain, or the secondary storm track, again from central and southern California, diving down across the southern Four Corners region, but taking that left-hand turn a little sooner across northwest Texas before it moves up into the Missouri Valley, the Ohio Valley, and then eventually into southeastern Canada. And with this storm track, we could have severe weather and heavy rain to the east of the low pressure track, and then to the west some heavier snow or a mix of rain and snow depending on our ambient temperatures as we move forward. Giving you more of an idea and a picture of what to expect. Here's your accumulated precipitation. Again, don't take this verbatim, but just looking at the heavier rainfall rates across portions of the southeast, you can see the higher amounts across the southeast. That does show that we'll see likely rain with this here, with several inches coming for early January. A little lighter to the north, but that's because we have the snow changing over from the rain to the snow across the upper Midwest, the Midwest, and then down into portions of the Central Plains. And I would probably even extend that snow line maybe as far south as the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles there as we go into early January. So very active weather pattern, a lot to go over here in today's video. Thank you guys for sticking along with me. If you do like detailed weather breakdowns in North America, be sure to press the subscribe button down below. We have you covered here with accurate weather forecasts on Weather on the Go. Make sure to press the like button down below, especially if you did like today's weather breakdown, and also share this video with friends, family, and on social media. And I hope everybody has a great rest of their Thursday out there.